Ironnet.
I volunteer Artanis.
One sec.
Took
Just
too
pulling
long.
up my notes. Let's see. Started out, Mel had a meaningful conversation with her ghost friend. And as we were boarding the ship, Kelsis reached out to me via sending and essentially is working to get me to convince the others to side with joining the Empire. Then had a conversation with Avelios and learned a new ability. Meanwhile, the dwarves got a message from home that they were going to need to return at the end of the year, and that their people wanted to make Aspida a dwarven outpost. We discussed all of these events and then and continued our way to Ralos. And at one point overnight, we were attacked by ghosts, wraiths, and banshees, and we fought them off. One of them chose not to attack me for some reason, and then when I think it was the wraith that Dom killed, he saw Porcia's face in it for a moment before it disappeared. We then continued our journey, landed in Ralos. Thorin wanted to get some appropriate clothing with Ashild's help for the meeting. Mel was making contacts with her people, found out that their leader was in town, whose name I did not write down.
The Sultan.
And was staying. Go ahead.
Sultan Purapane.
There you
Purapane.
go. And they're staying at the Smiling Owl, and we're intending to petition the Republic for aid. I also asked Mel to see if she can make contacts and find out about any mages that may be refugees from Al Ruam that might be willing to be friendly with us. And then Domhnall and I went to the university to pick up his armor and components and to study. And that's about where we wrapped up.
Alrighty. Indeed,
It's not 30 pages worth of notes, but something.
No, but you know, we can't all be Donald. You know, it's
There's only one Donald.
There's a reason why I am the date keeper.
Speaking of which, what is the date keeper?
As of us arriving in Ralos, I believe it is October 14th.
There you go. Look at him on the ball.
October 14th.
October the 14th.
About a month before Thorin can start reading his book.
Exactly.
I was gonna say a month before Thorin can read. That's what.
Yep, I can't read until a month. I'm still learning.
So we will pick up with Artanis and Donald at the academy. This is going to be a little timey-wimey so that everybody can be at the things that they want to be at. But Artanis and Donald specifically, you guys are at the Philandros Academy of Magics. As you are finishing up, Donald, with acquiring the things that you came here to acquire, Plato is talking with you, Artanis, and explaining to you that, I would be happy to instruct you in the ways of enchantment for items. We can absolutely teach you. This is not just a skill. This is an art form, really. And you're going to have to dedicate a significant amount of time to mastering it, more than just, a couple of days. It also requires material components, usually those that can be harvested from certain creatures and other valuable things.
Of course, I would expect no less, but as much knowledge as I can gain while we're here, I'll use it to my best efforts to practice in the time that I have available.
The item you were speaking of you know, permanently increasing your physical constitution, this is masterwork level enchantment. That's beyond even our skills here.
Then I suppose I better start practicing.
Indeed. When you have a significant amount of downtime, weeks and months, we'd be more than happy to instruct you.
Of course. Thank you very much.
Of course. Shall we continue into the academy so we can look at the codex and I can speak to you about the ritual?
Of course.
Master Donald, was there anything else that you required? Is he even here?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe he was here.
No, you. I meant you physically.
Oh
Like,
yes, me. I am here and listening. Fret
and
not.
listening. Okay.
Um, yes, I believe I will for at least a little while. I do have some other things that I need to be getting to before the meeting, though.
What is it I can help you with?
I just want to keep an eye on that one. He'll motion with his head to Artanis.
I'm fairly certain he's capable of taking care of himself, especially here in Ralos.
In Ralos, probably. Otherwise, it turns out you might be surprised. Hence the need for the enchantment.
Artanis, last time we were in Ralos,
You died.
Well, at the academy, I should be okay.
Nowhere is safe, boy.
Exactly. If all the same to you, I'd rather stick around for just a little bit.
Certainly. We wanted actually, Artanis, to show you something that we had discovered on our copy of the map.
Artanis is the wee bab of this
Excellent.
party and must be protected.
Would you like to come, Donald?
Yes, very much so.
Follow me. And he begins to lead you back through the campus to that secure room where you had last left the copy of their map, where you meet up with Socrates and Aristotle as well. As you come in, they are indeed examining their copy of the map. And the walls are just, it's like a conspiracy theorist walls. There's just papers like attached to the walls and like little things of yarn going from one thing to another. Like different symbols and
Thank you so much for the 5 bits. How you doing?
runes and characters from the map.
I'm assuming you don't want.
Like, up on the walls and stuff.
I'll get rid of that.
As you come in, he says, you do your greetings with
Where's my...
Aristotle and
Audio?
Socrates.
Actually, you can
as
get rid
you
of
come in. And they say, so yes, come over. And they walk you over to the table. And they have the map there. And next to it, they have an enlarged character or rune, you're not sure. And they say, we believe, based on some of the words that we've been able to decipher around it, that this image here is actually not like a character or indicative of language. It's actually a diagram of something.
Interesting.
Like an artistic rendering.
Do you have a sense of what it
Thank you so
describes?
much for the bits.
As they turn it around and push it forward to you, it's very like charcoal cave drawing like.
Ah, gotcha.
But there is a large circle. that has a smaller circle inside it
Okay.
and several lines coming off of it with circles at the end of them in different directions.
Does this describe a place or a ritual of some kind, do you think?
What little context we're able to figure out from the language around it is it seems to be some sort of possessive language and defensive language, like guardian or possessor or keeper. We're not sure.
Well, this is still quite a breakthrough. I wouldn't be surprised if there are significant defenses around this place that, in fact,
Looks
gives me
kind of like
hope.
that, if you can see it.
It's a beholder. Fuck! No! No! Oh no!
Oh, does that look familiar? It looks like
I
the
can't
statue,
see it.
right?
What's that?
It looks like the statue that we broke, right?
Make an insight check.
Blown glass
You
for
want
a
to roll
Highland
for
Games
me
event.
too?
Oh, nice!
While
Have you fun with that?
Get it, roll
Just
20?
grab a d20 and roll it. I'll tell you what your modifier is. I'm assuming you have a die near you somewhere.
Mine's a 13.
Your insight is a +8, Donald.
So that comes out to a 15.
A 15. The drawing is so crude, like this symbol is so crude, it's hard to make a... I mean, one could interpret it that way, but one could interpret it in many... If you're being objective, one could interpret it in many other ways as well. This is like comparing a child's drawing version of the Sistine Chapel versus the Sistine Chapel.
Got it. Are you
Or
aware
a better example would be like a Michelangelo's David versus a kindergartner's Play-Doh version of Michelangelo's David.
Yeah, but the genital anatomy is always correct, and that's what matters.
Oh god.
That's fair.
I wonder if there's any there was a golem that you were familiar with that guarded the pool. I wonder if there's some sort of construct or creature.
That is a
like that.
possibility. That is a possibility. We haven't, and the two of them look over at Socrates. We haven't wanted to jump to conclusions.
Any theories that you've come up with? Even if not definitive.
We're, we just, what we were able to do was determine that that wasn't actually a language character or some sort of arcane rune. It appeared to be some sort of diagram or sketch. But we're still working on it. This is an ancient dialect.
I wonder if the...
We have been able to link some of it to a lost language that most are unfamiliar with now. It's related both to, I don't know if you're familiar with Undercommon, as well as Abyssal. There's characteristics, like this might have been a root language for each.
I see. I wonder if this map...
But still clearly that celestial influence.
I see. That may be a clue in and of itself, but I wonder if once we're able to crack the language, if this map itself provides direction on how to bypass such a defense. And if so, all the more important that we keep the map and any copies of it safe.
Indeed, we have been having our apprentices posted outside of this room both day and night, taking shifts, as well as the arcane wards that are on this room that you already know of.
Very wise. Thank you. We, on our way here, we were attacked by some undead creatures under the control of what appeared to be Porcia. So it
I'm
seems
unfamiliar with who that is.
Did we not tell them?
Mhm.
You referred to individuals. You never gave them like a name.
Okay. Porcia is the one who apparently originally desired the map and tried to attack us to get it. And it seems like she is perhaps not given up.
Indeed. I'm glad that you were able to best her champions.
I had little
Champions
to
is
do it.
maybe a strong word.
They would seem to be more minions. Would be a better word, perhaps.
Indeed. So mindless then?
Perhaps one seemed to make a decision not to attack me personally. So I'm not sure if that implies a certain level of sentience or not.
Or control?
Right. One or the other. Not enough evidence to jump to a conclusion, I suppose.
Indeed.
And I look at Socrates.
He just smiles and strokes his beard. So I have to ask you at this point, Artanis, you have 48 hours before the meeting with the leaders. So the learning the ritual for inanimate memory will take 24 hours, and casting it yourself will also take 24 hours, as that's how many hours it takes to cast the spell.
Gotcha. So then,
So if you want to do that, you're not going to be able to investigate the codex with the philosophers.
Daniel, thanks so much for the
then
raid.
let me
How's your
learn the
stream?
ritual and then study the codex, and then I
Hello,
can
raiders.
always cast the ritual later.
All right.
Welcome
so
to
you
D&D.
spend the first 24 hours learning the ritual.
Correct.
You're not going to be able to do. This is what you're going to be doing for these 2 days then.
Okay.
See with the seal. Howdy. Welcome.
Fair enough.
All right.
We're having a bit of a party split situation,
So
so
you learn the spell
watching as
and
people
the
do their
ritual
stuff before a
inanimate
big
memory.
meeting.
Get ready to write this down because I got stuff for you.
Got it.
Inanimate memory is the 3rd level spell. School
Hope you
of
had fun
Divination
with Naruto stream.
is the casting
Building
time
an
of
elephant in
24
challenge
hours.
hell. Ooh, nice.
It is a ritual.
Wait, was this like
Components
Hades?
are
No,
verbal,
not Hades.
somatic, and material.
Wait,
The material components are a dais for the item to sit
That's
upon worth at
figures.
least 1,000 gold pieces. The description of the spell: you imbue an inanimate item with a portion of your soul to gain information and visions on the owner of the item from the item's perspective. Casting the spell grants 2 points of exhaustion, 1 point for the amount of time to cast, and 1 point for the temporary loaning of your soul.
So it's not like
From
it can burn a
your
spell slot to cast it, right? It's only a ritual spell.
It's the ritual spell, so you can cast it ritually. You can cast it ritually to not burn a spell slot.
Okay, but in this case, it would take the same amount of time, basically.
Yeah, it would still take the same amount of time. So
Shouldn't part of your soul also be like one of the things you need to, like part of the?
It's just a loan. You get it back.
Oh,
So-
okay.
If I don't have my soul, then I can't cast the spell.
Exactly.
So like here's the
Exactly.
thing.
This
Here's
is
the
you.
thing. If somebody dispels it, does that mean he loses it?
That would be amazing.
All right. So the last thing I'm going to need from you, Tannis, is
Versus-
because you're being assisted by the philosophers, you're going to make
First
another
mortgage is
Arcana
on
check
souls.
with advantage to investigate the Codex. The DC is 30.
It's a specific spell that
remember.
requires a portion of their soul on
Okay.
What do you
loan,
have to
I
roll?
guess.
What do you have to roll to get this?
In order to
My
get like kind of a
Arcana's
legend
plus
lore
7,
type
so it has to be
situation.
a natural 20, I guess.
Okay.
That's a natural 1. And that's a 12.
All right. The secrets of the Codex remain a mystery to you, Artanis.
Well, we'll keep trying, philosophers. I appreciate the time and effort.
With that, we cut over to Ossel and Thorin, who are making their way into the market district, where they find a wonderful tailor. There's a wooden sign out front with like a pair of shears and like a rolled up bolt of fabric. And underneath it says Mr. Markinsworth's it says Mr. Markinsworth's.
All right, fantastic. I know Thorin looks annoyed. I still like insisting and pulling him in. You can start the girls just want to have fun song montage here, where we do like the 12 different like no, yes. But yeah. So do you want me to just kind of speed through the process of the?
Sure.
All right.
As you give the description to the tailor here, an older gentleman, pale skin, slightly wrinkled but well moisturized, green and olive outfit with pantaloons, large cape, and poofy sleeves with a clean-shaven face, and the tools of his trade strapped to him. He says, so we're looking for dignified and noble and leadership qualities. Is that
Right, but also that kind of we're dressing up a warrior, so he also needs.
Of course,
to
he needs to command respect.
Exactly, of course.
Indeed. Give off an air of adventure, a man of action.
Right.
Essentially. No, Thorin, be more excited. He is such a grumpy
Yes.
Gus. Do not pay attention to.
We are bringing your inner essence out through your wardrobe, my boy.
Don't come near me with that.
It's just a measuring stick.
He needs to measure you. You have odd proportions. You're like super cinch waist and super broad shouldered. You look like an upside down triangle.
I think you're proportioned wonderfully, my boy.
Oh my.
All right, I need to go somewhere else. This is
No,
weird.
you do not. You stand right here.
Hey, I'm speaking professionally, of course. You are my canvas, and I will make art upon you. I've heard tell of this new island of yours. I've always wanted to live an island lifestyle, uproot myself here from Ralos, and perhaps move my stores and wares somewhere else. But it's I don't believe you have a marketplace yet, do you?
No, that's one of the next things. that we're planning on making.
Well, you should let me know when such a place is constructed. I may want to grace your economy with my fine wares.
Side quest.
I
Bloop.
will keep you in mind. Good marketplace. Get this guy. You can't have the
But
fight in
anyway,
the pit unless you get the promoter.
if you if you arrive tomorrow at dawn, his outfit will be completed.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
The darts around you, Thorin, before you're even able to realize what's going on, as he stretches this ribbon out and gets all of your measurements in a flash. There's just a whir of color and motion around you as you just kind of stand there.
Are we walking out yet?
Yes, you are walking out.
I look over at Ossel. I look back, making sure I'm out of earshot. I feel violated.
Why? That was poetry in motion. I don't understand why you're always so trepidatious.
I feel like he measured something he wasn't supposed to.
It's called your inseam. Get over it.
Well, now that that's over,
Also, do you want to describe the outfit that is created?
So as we arrive the next day, it is a bleach white toga up top that kind of displays, that shows off Thorin's chest and his whole tattooed arm. With the clasp rings are all the colors of our nation that are all linked together, that combine the front and the back. And it is held together with a gilded coil of rope, with the lower half being dyed to be all the colors of our nation that are kind of blended and dyed together, kind of making this cavalcade of colors. And on his untattooed arm, which it takes about 20 minutes to get on because it's a lot of pieces, is a mix of hard and soft leather lion's skull that he has to stick his arms through, with like this tasseled, kind of giving this mane effect, that has like this almost sound wave and spiked looking pauldron that kind of just goes all the way from the shoulder all the way down to the wrist. It's beautifully crafted, and it cost me a pretty gold piece, but it's completely worth it to make Thorin look badass, and hopefully it's to his liking.
oh yeah, for sure.
I told you, art.
All right, you're not that bad.
I'll take it.
You also take this gold.
Yes, indeed. As he snatches it.
Well, thank you very much.
Do tell your friends about me. Melano, you wanted to go to the Smiling Owl
Mm-hmm.
to meet up and try to gain audience with the Sultan. I believe Donald, you wanted to go with.
If Mel's okay with that, otherwise he'll go on his own later.
Why don't we broach that subject as Mel's getting ready to head in that direction? You can kind of tell Donald if you want to approach her.
Mel, are you heading to see the Sultan?
If I can, yeah.
You mind if I tag along?
I was a bit curious about that. Sure.
I appreciate it. Lead the way. These are your people, not mine.
Any particular reason? That they're walking?
Part of me is a little bit curious, honestly. We've heard tell of, even up in Tel Rune, we hear stories of the siege of Al Ruam sometimes. I'm curious to meet the woman who commanded it. Part of me wants to see if the message I sent actually did any good.
I'm a
Part of
little
me
curious
wants to
about that
invite
too.
her. Sorry?
I'm a little curious about that too.
And the other part of me wants to invite them to Aspida and see if they'd be interested in coming.
That's one of the things I was going to talk about.
Well, like I said, these are your people. You take the lead.
Yeah. Shit, there's something in my
Alright.
head and I just completely lost it. Fuck.
I'm sorry.
I was like, there's something in my head I was going to say and I can't fucking remember what I was about to say anymore. Shit.
Oh no.
Hate it when that happens.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Nah, it happens.
You make your way through the familiar streets of Ralos at this point, to the exterior of the Smiling Owl, where you can see,
Oh, that
it
was it.
is. What?
No,
Go
that
ahead.
was it. I guess as we're walking, I'm trying to remember, like, there was that conversation about, I was trying to remember who was there when Donald was mentioning his family. And his...
I think everybody was there.
I think everybody
Okay.
was there, yeah. Yeah, pretty much all of us.
Then yeah, as they're walking and he mentioned like if anything did any good, like I guess they probably at least have a little bit in common. And the Sultan used to be the naval commander. That's how she got to power.
I guess. My family have never been one for power, never been ones to rule.
They didn't have to deal with that kind of war, I suppose. It needed it. That's how it works in our realm. Pick the ones best suited for the job at the time.
I understand that. We just didn't need to step up like that. There's someone else who, we have a king who did that for us. Of course, the first one wasn't. The one who was there when the Empire first came wasn't great, but his successor did just fine.
Fair enough. Jack of all trades type of ruler. Can't all be like that.
Yeah. Well, some people just aren't meant for war.
And some people stop being. I'm just gonna keep walking.
As you arrive at the exterior of the Smiling Owl, it is noticeably less busy than it usually is this time of day. As you approach, you can recognize immediately, Mel, there are two individuals posted at the front door wearing what look like the battered and beaten and well-worn but tried to be well-maintained armor of Al Rawam of the Red Rangers. As the two of you walk up, one of them is a tiefling man with horns that kind of come almost like Hellboy-like, kind of come out and up. And the other one is a copper dragonborn. That's like 6'9". And the dragonborn just kind of like is leaning against the wall next to the door, and as you get closer and kind of are moving towards the door with intent, he kind of like stands upright and just physically places himself in front of the door, and the door kind of disappears behind him. As the tiefling steps around and forward and says, "Whole place is rented out. Can I help you?"
Here's a question. With the military rank and stuff like that, could I say that I had something like a pin or something like that, or something that would show?
I can't remember. Do you have a soldier background?
Yes.
That's right, right? Yeah. So you would have like essentially a what would be the equivalent to like dog tags
Mm-hmm.
with your last rank on it before you left.
All right.
I believe we agreed that was like a sergeant kind of level, right?
I don't
If
know
I'm
exactly
remembering
what
correctly.
I don't know what. I don't think we actually talked about a specific level for that.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna make an executive decision then. It
Okay.
was kind of
It
sergeant
was sort of
level.
like a.
That's probably the highest.
It was
low
more like
rank you
a
get.
one of those like covert ops type group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could head up a squad, but you're not like the captain or anything.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean? Yeah.
So yeah, she's gonna take that out and show it to him.
The tiefling kind of looks up at the dragonborn and kind of steps forward and puts his hand out so he can get like a closer look at it. Looks at it and says, and if you let him,
Mm-hmm.
looks at it, holds it back, and says, "Hey, I see you're a friend. Sultan's not exactly taking visitors at the moment, though."
Let's just say this is partly a political visit.
Political. Are you from the council? Or whatever they're called? I don't know. The group? The leaders?
We're petitioning to join it.
Give me a minute. Who are you? What's your names? I mean, I know your name based because he looked at your dog tab. But who's your friend? What's his name?
Don Leros.
Okay, just give me a second. As the tiefling disappears into the smiling owl, as the dragonborn just kind of gives you this look like, "Wow, I feel a little awkward for being so intimidating towards you now."
Just kind of gives him a
And
nod
is
and
just
shrug.
and is trying to be cool, like, "Hey, I was just doing my job," kind
Yeah.
of face.
Just notes that and gives a nod.
As after a moment goes by, the tiefling comes back and says, just like 60 seconds, she'll be down, and it takes her a little longer to get around now."
Slightly arch a brow at that, but give a nod.
But he opens the door as you come into the empty interior of the Smiling Owl. You can see Lacoste is over in her usual spot, but is kind of enjoying the fact that she's getting paid for a full house, but not having to do a full house of work.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of got her. You're kind of in between lunch and breakfast, so she's got the kitchen cleaned up, and she's kind of sitting in a stool, and it's kind of like balanced as she's leaning back against a wall, and she's got a book open. As she kind of looks and she says, and just kind of gives a nod of recognition.
Let's do one of those.
Kind of points to one of the tables that she says that's the one she usually uses.
I'll head that way then.
As you sit down, a couple moments pass. I'm sorry, Donald?
I just said I'll follow.
Okay. As you sit down, a couple moments pass before a figure begins to make their way down the stairs into the main room. You see a red-skinned tiefling with horns that kind of come back over the front of her head with jet black hair that's loose behind her. However, different from the image you see now, it appears that under her armor with a folded up sleeve, her right arm is missing up to the shoulder, as is her missing her left eye. There's an eye patch over it, and she is moving with a limp.
The moment see a bit of her, Mel just properly stands up and like, not so much salute, but like one of those like respectful military.
Yeah.
Donald is also standing and waiting for her.
As she still has a sword sheathed on her hip. As she makes her way down and says, so I understand it's the two of you I have to thank for that written warning delivered by that weird little thing.
Yep, that's the one.
Well, at least we know we got there in time. Apparently not enough of it.
Well, if I had anything to my name, I'd say I owe you. What little free people of Al Rawam that still breathe free air is mostly due to that warning.
He'll look to Donald and just kind of give him a nod of thanks again.
Donald will give a little bit of a sigh of relief. I'm just glad it got there in time.
I'm sorry we couldn't do more.
I don't know that I'd say it got there in time, but Al Rawam was a city of over 100,000 people. What's left of them is the 10,000 people littering the hilly countryside north of Narafos right now. The rest are either dead or enslaved.
Well, those people are part of the reason why we wanted to come and talk to you. I'll look at Mel.
That's right. Our group is attempting to create something of a haven of sorts, or at least leading up to that. Someplace some people could go for the meanwhile. We're attempting to join the council here.
Attempting? So you haven't been invited in yet?
We're making our case during this meeting.
I'm gonna go ahead and lay my cards on the table as she finally makes it across the room and sits down at the table with you, slowly limping across the room.
And sits down.
And she says, she kind of gets her voice a little bit lower so that her guard that's still around can't hear. She says, I'm a beaten woman. The only thing I'm looking for now is a safe harbor for what people still follow me. A safe harbor for them. And the only way that they're going to be safe is if they're allowed to settle in the republics. If you say you can provide that, great. If they invite you in, I can't risk not having the kind of protection.
I understand completely.
Yeah.
We're making our case. Timey-wimey nonsense. Is it the day after tomorrow?
Sure.
We're making our case the day after tomorrow. All the heads of the republics are here.
That's why I'm here. they've been gracious enough to grant me an audience tomorrow after your meeting.
Well, if they say yes, you're welcome to come to our island and settle there.
I really don't know what to say.
Yes is always good, I think.
I couldn't defend Alrawam, and this is my way of making up for that. And as best I can.
I looked up your records once I learned your name from that letter. You did more than your part.
Sometimes it never seems like enough.
Give Mel a questioning look at that.
More than should have been asked if some of those decisions had gotten to me. Anyway, I guess I hope you're really convincing. You'll be able to take in all of my people? You have that capability?
Question,
Yeah, how much
DM.
did you
Do
say?
we have all of
Yeah.
that capability? I'm reasonably certain we do. It just, takes some time to get the... They might need to help put the last of the houses up for themselves.
Well, they'd certainly have to do that because there isn't any at the moment. You certainly have the land to house that many more people. Like, you guys are essentially like a hamlet or a village right now. By adding 10,000 people to your population, you would become like a small village, not a small city, but you'd go from like a hamlet to a village or a town.
Yeah, that's like a decent-sized town.
Yeah.
That's a really big town, at least.
Yeah. Well, it's up from hamlet or village.
Yeah.
But she explains. She also explains that the majority of them, over 60%, are civilians. The rest are the remnants of the three different divisions: the Hellfire Raiders, the Red Rangers, and the mercenary company of Beast Folk.
Are there white rangers and green rangers and pink rangers too?
There are not, no. At least not in Alrulam.
Well, we should be able to... We've got the land and I think
I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean to interrupt you, and I just wanted to say I don't know that this is going to help or hurt you tomorrow in your meeting. Essentially asking to join a protective alliance and then putting an even bigger target on your back, being the closest geographically to the Empire.
The Empire already wants to kill us. We literally they tried to assassinate us while we were sailing here.
They did?
Yes. Well, not in any way that we could prove, in a court or anything like that, but they did.
How?
Wizards summoned some undead to kill us.
And you know it was Empire wizards? How?
Recognize them.
Recognized they were there?
We recognize the magic that they used. They've tried to kill us with it before. They also acted consistently with orders that most likely would have been given to them by the wizard who came and tried to threaten us into joining the Empire.
Seems pretty light.
Like I said, nothing that we could take to a court.
Anyway, I suppose I wish you all the fortune that Aichi can grant tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow, then. I know Narafos won't take us in.
Aye.
No, I've always been like that. And shakes her head.
They've been kind enough not to drive us off the lands outside their gates to the north yet.
Right.
But I need to get back sooner rather than later.
We'll do what we
Right.
can.
We'll do whatever we can.
Was there anything else you wished to discuss with me?
Look to Mel again.
I consider that not at the moment. Just I wanted to see for myself what happened and learn. There was a lot of uncertainty for the past few months.
Indeed. All I want is a safe place where what's left of my people can live out the rest of their days. I don't need vengeance or justice or anything. Hell, I'm not even sure I intend to go wherever they go once I find them a safe harbor, but I don't know that this really means much of anything, but if you can do something about that, I'll owe you.
Once they're safe, you should come as well. Be somewhere safe for you to stay as well.
I've always tried to do what's best for the people, and that doesn't stop.
Yeah. And she kind of gets up and starts heading back towards the stairs to go upstairs.
And stand up again and see her off.
Stand at attention while she leaves.
All right. She makes her way up the stairs. The two of you are there alone as the male tiefling from the front door is kind of over by the front door and has opened it.
I'll start walking back over to the door and head out.
Following Mel once again.
You exit the building back into the busy streets of Ralos.
There's like silence for several moments as she's walking away, and then just like a long string of infernal under her breath.
Yeah. Donald just listens for a few seconds and then says, "Yep. Yep."
She might not want vengeance, but part of me sure as fuck does.
You're not the only one.
It's not a good thing, though.
To want vengeance?
Leads you to some bad Bad choices. Doing things you regret.
Yeah. I already have enough of those.
Don't we all?
I'm sure I can live with a couple more.
You'd be surprised.
Maybe.
Donald, you are able to ask around. I need you to just make a general charisma check for me.
Can I guidance myself?
No.
Oh fuck!
Not for 20. Alrighty.
Boom!
You, sir, are able to ask around and charm some people and get specific locations on each of the other 3 leaders of the other 3 cities. Director Kava Mistane, General General Ergoroth Thundercaller, and Headmaster Lindal Cherry Cheeks. The director is staying at a very high-end establishment. Not even. She's staying, or they are staying at on the ship that they came here on, in the docks, as it is far nicer than any of the accommodations around around the city. The headmaster is at a local amphitheater where uh, where people generally go to perform and share art. And General Ergoroth is supposedly up at the temple organizing security for the meeting.
Alright.
So Thorn and Ossel, as you guys don't really have any other stuff going on, as far as I'm aware, any of this other stuff that you guys might want to tag along for, you should be able to. Or if you wanted to invite them, Donald, you would be able to.
Oh, yeah, totally. Donald's gonna invite everybody to come. Donald is basically going to go around and, like, informally introduce himself and whoever wants to come along to the other Republic leaders that we haven't met yet. And he'll totally invite anybody else who wants to come along. If that's a thing that anybody wants to get in on.
I'll go.
I'll go.
Artanis, you're busy.
Yeah, Artanis is busy, but
Yeah, I figured.
Mel?
Yeah, I'll go.
All right, who are you going to see first?
well, if we got everybody here, might as well start at the closest one. I believe that's Director Mistane.
All right, you head down, back down to the docks, and see a very lavish-looking ship docked in the harbors. A bright wood that it is crafted from, with white and golden sails. upon which is embroidered well, in the flag anyway. The sails aren't down at the moment, but in the flag is embroidered a golden scale. As you come walking up in golden with like golden breastplates and half plate with large shields and spears. You see personal guard of the director as they cross their spears in front of you as you approach the gangplank. And one of them looks down at you, down at all of you, and says, because I'm pretty sure everybody there is shorter than this individual, because nobody in your party is really all that tall. But looks down at all of you and says, what business have you? With the Golden Horizon?
We are members of the Council of Aspida. We wanted to introduce ourselves to Director Mustaine if it pleases them before the meeting.
Wait here. The one guard turns around and makes his way up the gangplank and disappears below deck. As you're standing there with the other guard, who like the guys at Buckingham Palace, is just staring straight ahead at attention.
What kind of ship is it, Bill?
It is a warship.
Okay, very cool. Is our ship parked like down the dock from this one?
Yep, a little bit.
All right, cool. Because as I stated last time, Ravina is a bear.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna have her walk on two legs, just in front of this guy, just to see if he moves. So I just like, and and I'll give her a little bit of space to see if she does her trick. And I just want to see if he flinches.
Just stares straight ahead the whole time.
Oh, badass.
But yeah, this thing dwarfs the Iron Serpent. This thing is huge.
Yeah, 'cause it's a long ship. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it could probably carry hundreds of people. There are scorpions on the deck, facing both starboard and port. This thing is a hefty ship. After a few moments, the original guard returns and says, the director has a brief moment, and they will give you a audience.
Much obliged. Please, would you mind showing us to them?
He turns around and begins to escort you back up the gangplank. As you come up onto the ship, he leads you down into the lower deck areas and towards the back, which would probably be the executive quarters. As you come in to an aft captain's quarters that looks very similar to like the inside of like a genie's lamp. There's a lot of sort of Al Rawami infused culture into this sort of aesthetic, I guess is the word I would use. There's pillows everywhere, short-legged tables with refreshments on them, and across from you, you see a gold-skinned dragonborn in but simple white, pure white, extremely clean linens. As sitting across from you and amongst a bunch of comfy pillows, sipping at a tea, is Director Kava Mustaine, as they gesture for all of you to have a seat and say, a bit unordinary to make greetings before official meetings, but I admire your uh, tenaciousness.
Appreciate it. It's good to meet you, Director Mustang.
Ah, so obviously you know who I am. Would you mind introducing yourselves?
Of course. I am Donal Eros, Master of Trade for Aspida and hopeful.
Are you indeed?
Indeed. I imagine that myself
We,
and your people may be doing quite a bit of business. Will hopefully be doing quite a bit of business together in the future.
I would hope so. From what I understand, your land has been untouched by sentient hands for some time. I imagine it is just teeming with natural resources.
Indeed. Natural resources just waiting to be used.
Please sit down. Enjoy some refreshments.
Take a seat.
That's it.
Is there like a hookah here?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
In fact, there is 2 hookahs here.
All right. I'm gonna play an ignorance here. I'm Queen Admiral, also Frostbeard, daughter of Torg of the Three-Eyed. You don't need to remember that whole title. This is a very fine ship.
Thank you.
This is the finest ship I've ever been on.
It is my personal vessel for when I travel outside of Narafos.
Well, it speaks to your character. What is that thing?
I think so.
What is the thing with the snakes?
Have you never tried hookah?
No, I've not.
Oh. They clap their hands, and a couple of servants come into the room as they prepare the hookah for you.
I will take a seat on a nice comfy pillow by the hookah next to Damo.
Make a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
I would like to fail this and just blow back into the fucking thing and ruin it.
Make a Constitution save with advantage.
Oh, advantage is good.
This door.
Oh, this is considered a poison? Got it.
Yeah, most mind-altering substances are.
That would be a 18.
18? It certainly affects you, but you are having a good experience. This is not just like regular hookah. This is like peyote.
Oh God.
Oh, I don't like this, no.
Oh no. Have fun with that.
Because of your role, you're having a good trip.
Nice.
Colors are more vibrant. Everything kind of has that like soft 70s glow on it. You know what I mean? Everything's a little bit softer.
This
It's
is
grainy.
the opposite of what Oscil is, just sharpness, blunt. No.
360p. Let's go.
But the sort of swaying of the ship and the little like wind chimes that hang in the room that kind of chime with the swaying of the ship sounds like music in your ears.
This is quite pleasant.
Perhaps I could arrange a delivery of some of this fine herb as a gift if you are invited into the Republics. A welcome gift.
It sounds like she would quite like that.
Yeah. Mel's gonna kind of eye all of this, just mostly neutral expression, but eventually wander over to sit down. Melanus Daris, Master Phantoms. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. The director flicks their wrist, and you watch as a bolt of fiery arcane energy strikes the top of the hookah and lights the herb for you again, also.
All right. Thorn, would you care to introduce yourself to the director?
He's in the bathroom.
Oh, right, he
Oh.
is. Whoops.
We'll assume
no.
he introduces himself. It's fine.
Coolio.
So I can imagine that I would like everybody except Ossel to make perception checks.
24.
I don't know what it is, but I see it.
21.
I said everybody except Ossel.
I know. I'm not there.
21.
Mm-hmm.
Thorin. Put your headset back on, dum dum. Thorin.
Hey, I had to let my roommate in. Don't call me dum dum.
Roll a perception check.
$18.
18. All right. All the three of you notice the director. So essentially, they cast the firebolt. The three of you notice that I'm just going to say it from a mechanical standpoint, and so you'll understand they were trying to sleight of hand this, but they use some sorcery points to quicken spell and subtle spell, and cast detect thoughts as well. So it looks like they were. So it looked like they were trying to play it off as though they were only casting a firebolt, but they also cast detect thoughts on themselves.
Coolio.
Mel having like, kind of gives him, shit.
Donal thinks to himself, you could just ask. But very specifically does not say it out loud.
The moment you think that,
accompanies it with a mental image of a grin.
The moment while you're doing that, you notice that the director is just kind of has a grin on their face as they're looking at Ossel.
If they're detective thoughts, I'm just like, Ravina would really like this. Like, it's really plush in here. She loves soft things. Should I whistle? Do I remember how to whistle?
Owl sounds.
But the director turns back to the rest of you and says, "So I imagine this is more than just an introduction."
It is partly an introduction. I imagine you are quite busy, but there is at least one thing that I did want to inform you of that we came across while we were traveling.
Oh.
I imagine you may have heard about it by yourself or from your own sources at this point. But we did come across a ledger while handling some Vine thugs in Meridia that indicated that there was an open contract on your life.
Mel, make a sleight of hand check for me.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay. 25.
25.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you reading surface thoughts?
At the moment, yes.
All right. The surface thoughts you're getting are actually. You know what? Can you hop into secrets with me real quick?
Mm-hmm. One second. Oh my god, it's my turn.
Hey.
Hey. Okay.
So the surface thoughts that you're getting are, shit. I didn't actually know that, but I'm gonna play it off like I did.
Okay.
That's the surface thoughts you're getting for the moment.
Okay.
All right.
Can
All right. They look at you and they say, "Of course, I'm aware. I just haven't felt the need to act upon it yet. I don't think it's a very serious threat. The vine in my part of the world is much less lethal and much more concerned with profit margins."
Fair enough. Well, I figured I'd share as a bit of a gesture of good faith from us
It
to
is
you.
the gesture is greatly appreciated.
Other than that, I imagine it might take a little bit of time, so I did want to drop off a copy of some of our books here with you as well, in case you wanted to, or excuse me, in case you wanted to have somebody go through them before the meeting.
Interesting. Mel, are you still concentrating on
Mm-hmm.
secrets?
Mm-hmm.
Surface thoughts that you're getting are, "This fool's going to show me his books. I'm so going to take advantage of these people."
Uh-huh.
That's it for now.
Okay.
just laughing at us.
Do
Kind of
you
gives
kind of
Donald a look.
holding them forward?
I'm just gonna hold out a hand to Donald for that.
Hold on, Mel. Donald, are you like presenting them, holding them forward?
It's a abbreviated version of the books. It doesn't include any of the projections I've made, any prospecting reports about like what's available in the island. It's strictly there to show that with our current situation, we are financially stable.
But are you presenting them? Are you holding them forward?
I will slide them onto the desk.
Okay.
Right.
They eagerly put their hand forward and move to grab them. Mel, if you want to do anything.
Yeah, Mel's gonna hold out for there first.
Just for shits and giggles, make just a initiative roll for
Mm-hmm.
shits and giggles. Wow. Okay, you're probably gonna be fine.
24?
Yeah, totally. Your hand darts there much quicker, and you just kind of do that where you put like the open fingers on the top of it, not pulling it backward, but just maintaining it in place, kind of thing. As they kind of stop their movement forward and kind of gaze upward to meet your eyes for the first time.
This is surely a gesture of good faith and not any attempt to take advantage of a situation beforehand. Like looking back to Donald.
Yes.
Looking back to this guy.
Make an insight check, Mel.
Mm-hmm. 18.
They look at you with a knowing look, and say, "Why, I am insulted that you think I would even think about such a dastardly tactic."
Mel gives him an equally knowing look. Saying, like I said, I'm supposed to be part of the defense here. I take care of mine. I'm sure you understand.
Of course. I would just say you should really think before you toss out such accusations.
They're just thoughts, not accusations.
Of course, one can't be held accountable for the thoughts in their own head.
Got it. I got it, guys.
Oh. Just start whistling.
That absolutely breaks the director's concentration for a moment. As they look over and then continue to move their hand forward towards taking the documents.
Do I know?
To see if you
Yeah.
pull away.
Yeah. Donald, would I know that you didn't put like too much into them? They're fairly.
Oh, this is absolute minimum. Does not include any specifics of
Yeah,
anything.
but does-
wherever he can.
Would he have
help it.
told the others about that?
Oh yes.
Okay. And then we'll
Yes.
just let it.
This is solely to demonstrate, yes, we're financially independent. You know, it's vaguely structured. Yes, we have this. We have, we have X amount of gold from, you know, something vaguely labeled like adventuring. We have X amount of gold from vaguely labeled resources.
Which I imagine that anything like this would include your initial census.
Oh, yeah. It'll include like a rough population estimate.
Yeah. Not like a full census, but at least
yeah, it'll include basic statistics about the population, but there's no specifics about like what exact resources we have on the island, no specifics about where exactly we are on the island, no specifics about like how we're processing anything or what we might be doing to process, etc., etc. It's like bare minimum information, just as a teaser taste for her or for them before we join.
Nah, Dom won't give her everything,
Damn.
man. We trust them.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
I was saying,
100%.
fuck. If I'd
No, we
known that
don't.
ahead of time, she probably would have just let it happen, but I didn't think about that at the time.
maybe you do.
Yeah.
All right. Do you retract your hand, Belle?
Yeah.
They pull the documents toward them and say, I have to say, I am impressed with such a good faith action.
Well, like I said, I imagine that we'll be doing a lot of work together. I wanted to get started on the right foot.
Agreed. I look forward to fruitful business relations in the future.
Likewise.
Also, stop petting the pillow. It's not an animal.
The director looks over at you, Thorin, and says, to be fair, at one point it was.
Instantly starts weeping.
See, now look what... Oh, come on. That's going to take weeks to get her over that.
It died of old age?
Oh.
Question mark?
Yeah. Question mark. I suppose, but they turn back and say, yes, I hope we'll be able to have fruitful business relationships in the future. Whether you should be invited to join the Republics or not.
Of course. We're all on the Sun Sea together. Donald's got like a smile his best like professional smile pasted on his face this entire time. Of course, there's no reason for us to be difficult with each other.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I have quite a bit of reading to do.
I imagine so. I'll leave you to it. Have a good day.
They nod, and the guard opens the hatch for you guys to exit. Where to next?
I'll look to Mel once we're a safe distance. So she's even slimier than I thought, hey?
Exactly how I remember. And I never even met them properly.
Can I make
feel
a...
like- Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm not good at politics. That was really weird. I felt like I was useless.
Well, if you'd like, we're going to talk to the General of Spartus next. I was going to ask you and Ossel to take the lead with him. He sounds like he's somebody who respects strength and all the good martial things that you and your sister are much more representative of than I am, of course.
I look over at Ossel. Is she
At
still
least
tripping
visibly.
balls?
For the moment, yeah, it's only been like 15, 20 minutes.
Also,
Can anyone else taste sound?
oh gods. Also, you need to feel better now, and I will walk over and cast lesser restoration.
Your trip is instantly ended.
Fucking hell. Could you guys hear? I could hear everything. I was so alert to all my surroundings. I think I should be like that all the time.
No, you aren't.
No, you weren't.
Mm.
Really?
Sis,
I felt like
yeah,
I was on
no.
the ball.
I put my hand on her shoulder. No, you were.
No, you're
You were
tripping
way
balls.
off
That's
the ball.
different.
Where did I get this magic lamp from then?
Why'd you steal that?
No, it's just funny.
What are we gonna do with
Fine,
you?
we gotta. No. All right. So we're gonna go talk to Spartus. Cool. We're right. I'm gonna go get the gift. Then I'm gonna be right back, and I run down the dock.
What gift?
I bring my pony cake out with the blackberry currant mead that I've made.
Oh.
Especially.
Oh, hey, Bill, can we retcon that I would have given the necklaces I made for each one of them to them right then and there? I totally forgot that I had those.
I thought you already gave it to him on the journey.
No. 'Cause I made necklaces for the
Leaders.
people we're trying to get in with.
Oh,
as
that's
well.
right. Yes. Well, for sure. Yeah, we'll say
Alright.
that you left it for sure.
Cool.
Tribute. Yes, I am not really good at making stuff, not like Thorin, but I can make a pretty fine drink. Don't even with your impeccable palate, you said it was fine. And I've actually had the time to age this one, so that means it'll be strong. So hopefully, 2 + 2 = we're good to go with Spartus.
Hopefully so. Like I said, you two should probably take the lead with this one. He sounds like he's one of those fellows who respects strength and fighting and the like, and Donald kind of waves his noodle arms a little bit for demonstration purposes.
He does his best Kermit impression. Hey!
Yeah. Kind of, I
Don't worry,
don't
Domo.
exactly look the part.
Don't worry, Domo. We'll make you swole one day.
All right, so Ravina, you're definitely a bear. All right, let's. I don't know where they're staying, so I'm following you. So lead the way.
We're up at they're up at the temple.
Yep, all the way back up the mountain to the top of the city. That lovely walk that you guys love to make.
This is the worst map quest ever.
Look.
No, this is worse than the Goron sword in Zelda.
Look, they're all in very inconvenient places.
You make your way up the twisting and winding cobblestone streets of Ralos up into the Temple and Academy district, and make your way to the outskirts of the Temple to Athena, as well as the rest of the gods at the top, where just outside, at a there's like a makeshift, not even tent, just like a lean-to sun guard, underneath which there's like a temporary wooden table out there with a map of Ralos over the top. You can see there are several humans, dragonborns, Goliaths, and other in half plate with the big breastplates, with the roaring lion's head, large circular shields with tall spears, crimson and gold coloration. As you see leaning over the table, looking at the map and pointing at it as to where to post certain guard units and stuff. It looks like he's here with a full contingent of guards and soldiers. General Ergoroth, Thundercaller, Kulumilaneda, a enormous dragonborn pushing well over 7 feet tall, closer to 8 feet, with black facial tattoos and a stern look on his face, wearing the same armor as his soldiers.
Thought he was a dragonborn.
He is a Goliath.
Oh.
There are soldiers around him that are dragonborn, human, Goliath, and a couple other species. There's even a half-orc amongst them, as well as a furbolg.
I just throw my shoulders back, like a ravine on my side, pony keg, sweat on my brow. I fucking got this. Hail! Just trying to catch attention. I'm not gonna try to approach because if they're going over war plan,
every single one of them with the crimson cloaks, their heads turn towards you as all their hands go towards their hips, towards their long swords, as they like out of instinct, as they assess the situation and see you. The general relaxes first, takes a step forward and motions you forward and says, "The leaders of this new Aspida. I was expecting to see you before the ceremonies."
aye, quite the entourage you run with, General. And I take both my axes out. I put them on the ground. I kneel in front of them.
I read my security reports. Can't be too careful when there's, as he looks at all of you, according to you, agents of the Empire running around the city.
Good to see you're a raider. And glad to see you're taking this so seriously.
I take everything seriously. And he kind of 1,000-yard stares off into the distance.
He's our Drax.
Oh.
He's the Drax.
Like him. Donald likes him. He gives like an approving nod.
You can't have Austell and Donald's approval. It's not possible for you to make me see like this, Bill.
I think we just broke the game.
Oh, fuck. He's too powerful.
I will collect my shit and stand.
Over 9,000.
We just wanted to send our greetings your way. We have some documents, but I believe
his hands up. His one hand up and says, "Such pleasantries are not necessary. My decision and my vote will be based solely on your ability to contribute and protect the republics." It is nothing personal. As much admiration as I may have for your individual actions, the ones I've heard of, I cannot allow such feelings to sway my judgment. I have to make decisions as what is best for Spartus. And
also,
he smolders and stares off into the distance.
My God.
Stop! I don't like boys.
I whisper into Ossel's ear. It's like the smolder is strong with this one.
Well, I completely understand that.
Make a wisdom save, Ossel.
I don't like boys. This is bullshit.
I just want to see how you do as you're beginning to speak to him. The sun kind of glints off his armor as he's smoldering,
Oh,
and I want to see
23. Get
you're
out
able
here.
to absolutely resist any sort of sexual feelings.
Um, well, I appreciate your bluntness and your lack of political bullshittery that has been some of our political dealings in the past.
Soldier does not have time for such things.
All right. Well, I won't take up any more of your time, and I take the pony keg and I just put it by his foot. It's not much, but I'm a little bit of a meadsmith. I was hoping you might enjoy that, but we'll take our leave now. And I give a slight bow, a little bit of a smile.
He puts a hand up for you to stop and says, such a gift is appreciated. My men and I will use this to celebrate a safe journey home.
That is an honor.
General,
I wish you luck, regardless of how the vote comes out. Yes?
I couldn't help but notice you say your vote will be swayed upon if we can protect the republics. Is that correct?
Indeed. By joining this alliance, it is an agreement twofold.
Okay.
You agree to come to the aid of others in their time of need, but also ensure that you are not a drain on those that you ally with and weaken the whole.
That's understandable, and I totally agree.
If I think your joining the republics will leave us more vulnerable than protected, I will vote to have you go your own way.
Well,
You
seem
can
to be
go
a man of
your
action,
own way.
as I am. Do you happen to know the rituals of an argument between dwarves and how it is solved?
I must admit, I am unfamiliar with your people's customs.
Well, I pull out one of my hand axes and I say, you see, when one of us cuts our hand, it is a sign of showing whose might is better. As we do not fight to the death, it is illegal for us to do so. So we fight to the amount of bloods. And by showing that, and I will cut my hand and say, why not I show you my might against your greatest fighter right now?
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion. Sweet. That is a 17.
17. The general looks you up and down, and there's a slight smile that curls up on one side of his face. And he turns and looks at this large but lanky but athletic, like wiry furbolg, who pulls down a helmet with a big red.
I may have gotten
like
inspiration
horse
for
mane
you
flare
can go your own
across
way
it,
in the chat.
picks up a big circular shield that has like a roaring lion's head on it, and draws a long sword and steps forward.
I explain the rules to them. It's to a certain amount of bloods. What's the amount of bloods? What's the most that you can do?
It's 3, 5, or 7.
3, 5, or 7. I say we'll go
I'm
to
sorry,
5.
it's 1. It's 1, 3, or 5. Sorry.
Oh, then I say we'll go to 5.
Go to
First one to
5.
5. Yeah, first one to 5 bloods loses.
All right. The individual cuts their hand and rubs their one side of their face with blood, kind of caking and matting all the fur with their blood, and kind of nods in respect.
And I will nod and do the same. And I will wait until they are ready.
Roll initiative.
I thought you were going to. I thought you were going to challenge the general himself to a fight, and I'm like, oh no.
I'm not that stupid, okay?
What'd you
Natural
get?
fucking 20.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out.
You act first.
Yeah. All right. I would like to rage first of all.
All right. Bonus action rage.
And how far away am I from this person?
You're within 30 feet. Yeah, you guys are like there's a circle of Spartans and your party that has like formed here as it's and all they're holding all their shields up as it looks like they're adding a bit of their own culture to this. As the circle forms around you, all the shields are held up to make like a ring.
I like it. And we are fighting with our weapons, so I will attack recklessly with my greatsword. First one is that is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Hold on, I have to double check something.
Yeah, rage just gives me damage bonus. Doesn't give me a hit for a hit.
Yeah. Find the right page. All right. Dirty 20 hits.
Okay. And
So
then the second.
Yep, second attack.
$22.
22 also hits. So you come in with your greatsword.
Yes.
And make 2 surprisingly quick for while wielding a greatsword slashes that are he is able to bring his shield up to deflect the majority of the blow, but you slide the greatsword on both of them. Slide the greatsword along the shield to catch and nick him in the thigh and then in the shoulder on 2 separate occasions as he begins to recover and come towards you now. So you've got 2 on him, and you're playing. You said to 5, right?
Yes.
All right. So he kind of plants his back foot and then comes
Raid.
forward with a forehand and backhand
Turn.
with his.
Hey, how you doing? How's your stream?
Longsword with advantage.
Welcome,
because
Raiders.
You were reckless.
We're making political allies by beating up their
That's
best
a 21.
soldiers, apparently.
And
Well, not me personally, but our barbarian.
A
How you
dirty
doing?
20.
How was the stream?
Yep.
all right. As he comes and spins you and kind of like runs his sword
Let me
across
see if I remember.
your bare back. And as you spin back around, he brings it up and kind of runs it up your chest, up towards your neck. But at the last minute, pulls it back the other way, away from your neck, to make sure that it's not a lethal blow. He is then going to action surge and make 2 more attacks.
Ooh.
I figured he would be a fighter.
Yeah. That's another dirty 20.
Yep.
Hope everything went well. Were you at the shore?
And a 16.
16 will miss.
Okay, so he you get ready to come back with your response, but he continues to press, driving forward as he swings. You're able to parry it with the sword, but he brings the edge of his shield around and kind of like clocks you in the temple and like breaks the skin over your eye as blood begins to kind of flow down over your face. So he's got you 3-2 right now. Your turn.
All right. I would like to. I can't remember the name of it. The reckless that gives that the
Frenzy?
rage. Yeah, the frenzy rage.
Okay. You guys
And,
hear that roar of a lion in the distant hills.
And I would like to attack 3 times, all reckless again.
Okay.
21.
Hits.
Second is another 21.
Hits. I'm going to tell you right now, his AC is 19.
Okay. And the third one. 19 on the dot. I rolled 2 12s.
Ooh.
All right, so tell me how you finish this. The 3 strikes, the 3 non-lethal strikes to bring blood to finish this.
With the
Nice.
roar, I will dash up into him, and swing wide and cut him on his chest, and then as I come back down, I will cut him very not like at his neck, but like around his shoulder, kind of around here, and then I would like to sweep kick him so he's on the ground, and then just take the sword, make it go as close to his cheek as possible, and put it into the ground.
Nice.
Ooh.
You do so as the furball lands hard on its back, and you bring the sword down. There's a kathunking sound as it sinks like a good foot into the earth, between a couple cobblestones. As there's a and everybody there's like a quiet for a minute.
And then
And then from behind the visor of the helmet, you see the furball's big, toothy smile come up as he puts his hand up for you to help him up.
and I gladly grab it and pull him up.
He nods and kind of gets down on one knee, and he turns and looks at his general, who gives him a nod, and then he turns and comes to you and kind of puts his left hand on the back of your head and kind of headbutts you a little bit.
I give the same gesture, reciprocate.
Yeah. And he says, you could join a Spartan line any day.
You're not so bad yourself. Could join any in the halls.
He stands, sheathes his sword, and heads off to his general, who instructs him to go find a medic and get patched up. The general looks over at you and says, impressive.
And to give you even more ease of mind, I am the master commander of the island. I will train everyone.
I'll take that into consideration.
I kind of just run off after the furball, and I'm like, I could help with that, and I'll just hold up my hand and cast Cure Wounds.
Thank you. With that, the general kind of gives you all a stern nod. Returns over to the table with the map on it as he looks down at it for a minute, then pauses, turns, and looks out at the sea and smolders.
Okay, there, Flynn Rider, we get it.
Like if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson played a Goliath Spartan.
So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I might need to roll a wisdom saving throw for that. It's Dwayne the Rock, the fucking Johnson.
The Rock
Yeah,
playing
it's like
Flynn Rider playing.
It's like an 8'3" Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson if he was in 300.
Oh, God.
And as a Goliath.
By the way, the idea of just Thorin, this little 3-foot guy, just taking on like a 7-foot furball. I'll fuck you up, motherfucker. It's just hilarious.
So Thorin is a Chihuahua. Got it.
I'll take you on, motherfucker.
The general returns to planning the security for the meeting, as you guys head back down the mountain.
Thorin is Chihuahua confirmed.
We'll say Pitbull.
I guess this is second level cure wounds on Thorin. That was brave and stupid. I'm very proud that you did it.
You did well.
Yeah. Well, somebody had to show him that we're not pushovers, so.
Yeah, fuck, it wasn't gonna be me. See the size of him?
Well, he's not that big. We fought bigger.
Yeah, but not like 70 that bigger.
We fought a Behir, which is
Yeah.
probably 5 of those men.
Yeah, like I said, there's more than 5. Ravina agrees with me.
You're the only one who understands her, so of course she agrees with you. Well, wait. Damo understands her.
Who?
Mina.
Oh,
The bear.
yes.
Off to the headmaster.
I guess
Yep.
so.
You make your way back down the mountain towards a very large park in the middle of the city. At one end, in a clearing of the wooded area of this park, there's this white marble amphitheater, this outdoor sort of stadiumed amphitheater that is full of a bunch of different artists. There's some people sitting on the steps drawing and sketching. There's others off to the side chiseling away at statues, and other musicians down on the presentation area of the amphitheater actually playing music together. There's a percussionist, a couple stringed instruments, as well as some pan flutes and other woodwinds being played. And sitting off to one area with 6 armored, more lightly armored breastplates on these individuals with lighter robes, scimitars at their sides as opposed to big long swords, and these recurved, these really intricate recurved like long bows, like hunting bows, composite bows on their backs with quivers. As you can see, an individual with a plucking away at a lute-like instrument with a long, like Lord of the Rings Gandalf type pipe hanging out of one side of their mouth, with this golden red flowing locks that come down the side of their heads with their head past their shoulders, with slightly pointed ears, but a little bit of an orange 5 o'clock shadow around his chin. You see Headmaster Lindal Cherry Cheeks.
That is a fancy lad.
Indeed. Oh.
Well, we're in the woods, so this is definitely Domel's territory.
You're in a park
Oh.
In park.
at an amphitheater, an outdoor
okay.
amphitheater.
Same thing.
Oh, so
I'm just gonna politely
Picture-
listen for a while.
John,
Probably
Thorin, picture like an ancient Greece version of SPAC.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
all right, I guess I'll approach.
Just listening. Might hold back Ossel until he's actually done playing. You don't interrupt a performer in the middle of performance in an amphitheater.
Oh, sorry.
As you sit back and enjoy the music, he stands and begins to interlace a lute solo into the playing that's being played down on the dais as they begin to uh, shift the arrangement around his edition. Um, as he rolls a 22 on his performance check, and
Damn.
plays a real face shredder of a lute solo.
Hey.
Um, um, uh, and as he does so, you watch as this giant purple arcane hand comes out of nowhere and lifts him up over the rest of the players as a bunch of minor illusioned laser lights go flashing around the amphitheater.
Oh shit.
The bard Bureau wishes he was.
He's a
And with a
slash.
flourish at the end of the play, at the end of the solo, a major image is cast as you see that familiar statue of Dionysus from your time in Meridia is projected behind him, not quite to scale, but it starts to get in the illusion. It gets up and begins to dance along to the music. He ends with a flourish as the assembled crowd applaud. Do you all applaud?
Yeah.
Yes.
Applaud, but no sound comes out because the gloves of thievery.
As he bows and in a same singular motion slings his lute strapped back onto his back as he makes his way back towards his cool kid in high school at the top right corner of the bleachers area with his guard of the amphitheater, and kind of sits down as they pour him a goblet of wine as he kind of leans back and puffs on his pipe. And looks over and catches your eye as he notices you as you approach.
Yeah, we have a giant bear with us. Of course he notices us.
His guard go to step in front, and he raises a hand to stop them. As you stand before him.
Headmaster.
Good to meet you, Headmaster.
It is, I will admit, a thrill to meet the people who burned down the home of Duke Petrellus.
Allegedly.
We have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm sure you don't.
We can't confirm nor deny anything without our lawyer present, and our lawyer is currently up studying with the philosophers.
I wrote all the laws for our nation. I'm your lawyer.
Domhnall, shut up.
Oh, you seem to misunderstand me. I'm actually happy about it.
I would hope so. He was selling information and smuggling to the Empire.
Oh, come on now. We both know that that's information that you acquired after the fact.
I say nothing.
Why does this guy know so much about us?
We spent a while in his city. Do
you think anything goes on in Meridia that I'm unaware of?
That makes more sense now.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Especially when some fresh faces like you come in and basically just announce yourself to the world.
I mean,
just one of these.
Just one of these. Impression.
Don't have any subtlety whatsoever, but I like that in a person.
Whoa.
I'm
I'm
very
gonna
glad
use
to
that.
hear.
I'm gonna use
Well,
that
you
with
made
my
a great
bards.
impression.
Domo, would you? I feel like the documents thing doesn't work anymore now. We have documents.
Congratulations. That must be nice for you.
You like our
No.
documents?
He's the nerd. Like
This is a
I'm very
euphemism
cool
now?
and badass.
Didn't seem like it.
That is my bear. Like
Out
what,
of
do a
character.
trick.
Out of character, I don't even know what documents you're talking about giving him.
Don't we have like a charter or whatever the fuck? We're giving it to everybody.
No, you just
We're
gave that to
giving
the
it
one.
No, we're giving that to people at the. We're giving that to people at. We're giving like our charter and laws and shit to people at the meeting.
Yeah.
Narafos is like the financial people, so I think, and they're supposed to value like, Australia let slip that they'd value if we were financially independent, or let slip. So I figured I'd give them a
Let
little
slip.
taste of
Outright told you.
yes, let slip. I guess my camera isn't working, so you can't see me.
No, I
quoting.
cannot.
But
Does
yeah,
it ever?
no, it doesn't. But yeah, that's the only reason we had documents to give to the headmaster.
But anyway, the headmaster turns and looks at you, Donald, and says, "Though I have to admit, I'm surprised someone with your last name would even come and talk to someone like me."
Hmm.
He's a half elf.
Yeah, that's the other half of my family.
I assume that's why you didn't come and introduce yourselves when you stepped foot into my city the first time.
No, that is unfortunately because we were in quite a rush. Which I assume you already know about.
Yep.
Yeah. We were in a rush and we needed money to get Aspida off the ground fast. But no, it's not. That's not the reason we didn't introduce ourselves to you.
Wait, you two
And
are
I
related?
no, I'm almost certain that we're
Headmaster
not.
Cherry Cheek starts like openly laughing.
I'm almost certain that we're not. You aren't.
Yeah, that's usually what your people say about me and mine. We're not related.
Are you one of? Were you one of Thon's?
Don't worry about it.
I am worrying about it because if you it, there are so many things that I want to say, and this is coming out very badly. I'm very sorry. Um, I am sorry for whatever my family's done to you in the past. And I realize that may not mean much, all things considered. But I am sorry for whatever they've done to you.
Hey, listen, don't worry about it. In Meridia, we don't hold sons accountable for the sins of their fathers.
Do we have any context for what they're talking about at all? Any history or?
Probably not. No.
I'm thoroughly fucking confused. I say this out loud.
But I have a responsibility to this people, Meridia, and my vote is going to be based on their best interest and nothing else.
Of course. That's what everybody else has told us as well. Not with Meridia, but with their own cities. We wanted to come by and meet you in person and just talk like actual people before the
I respect that.
before the actual meeting happens.
I respect that.
Also, do you have any more mead?
I do have that little bit that Artanis, I collected after the failed drinking
Oh,
contest.
don't worry, we have our own reserves from Meridia. I'm very particular. I have a very refined palate, so.
That's fair.
I grasp my pearls.
Just-
grasp
but
my
holds also back.
But anyway, look. As far as I'm concerned, you guys seem all right. But if I could give you a little bit of advice, if you ever venture into any of the other cities of the Republic, as the up and comers and people of the positions that you are, it's good usually to check in with the top dog when you're going to be running around their territory.
That's appreciated. Thank you for overlooking our. I think the right word in common is fuckery.
Hey, I'm really cool like that, so don't worry about it.
He's the uncle that'll get high with you and drive you home after you had a bender.
Is this guy our cool uncle? Is that what's going on?
That's what I just said.
Pretty much.
But anyway, I have this thing, like an appointment.
Of course.
So.
I want to keep you from your thing.
It's like a massage thing, but yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Ladies, gentlemen, let's do this. As he looks at his guard, they all kind of untense a little bit as they begin to follow their leader out of the amphitheater and out of the park.
Yeah, once they're out of earshot, I go, well, that's a vote we don't have.
Yeah.
I just look very confused, and I look up to Melt and I go, "Are you not supposed to interrupt music? Is that impolite?"
I think so.
Hey, Bill, can I make a retroactive insight check to see how that went with him?
Sure. Make an insight check. It went awesome. Couldn't have gone better.
Great.
You think you really solved the generations of mistreatment with that brief conversation? No.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, you're. I'm just being silly, but it was, even with a natural one, it was fairly obvious it didn't go great. But it's hard to tell. He's hard to read. He's a very charismatic individual.
Well, kind of eventually glanced at all. What was that about?
It's a long story.
We might need to know about it if we're going to be working with these people.
Brother or something?
No, like my half brother. He's okay. So, half elves are kind of a difficult. Let's walk and talk. Half elves are.
Sorry, real quick. Where are you walking to? Because you finished. We kind of finished your stuff there, Don. Well, mostly Donald. But I assume you guys are just walking back to wherever you're staying, or.
Yeah, those were all the leaders, correct?
Yeah.
All the leaders, we'll call
I mean,
it.
we should probably drop by Estrella and just say hi, but like.
I'll just ahead of time tell you that if you head over there, her assistants will tell you she is just too busy to see you until the actual event.
Okay, well, we'll drop a formal.
Got a lot on her plate right now. There's a lot of foreign heads of state in the city, and she's just extremely busy at the moment.
Totally.
Yeah.
We'll drop off like a formal greeting for her and just Tell just, greetings, we're in town, we look forward to seeing you at the meeting. Yeah.
All right, so you guys are walking to wherever you're staying for the evening. As you begin to, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Donald.
No, go ahead. No, it's fine. So half elves are kind of treated bad. They're treated badly by most people in Telrune.
We'll say Artanis is there for this as well. That you guys picked him up from the academy before this evening.
Is it safe to say, Dommel, that Telrune doesn't treat anyone well unless you are an elf? Is it safe to say that? Because that's what it seems like.
Yes. Yes.
Pretty ass backwards, if you ask me.
I agree.
Well,
so that
we
sucks.
well,
let him talk.
It's not just that. My family has history with half elves. So the founder of my house was one of the first people to bring half elf was one of the first fathers of half elves in the Second Age.
What does I'm sorry, simplify that for me?
So my house was founded about 500 years at the beginning of the Second Age, about 550 years ago now. The elf who founded my house, was the father of the first half elves born since the Titans were sealed, since the end of the Titan War.
Okay.
And well, because it's Telrune, and people don't like half elves. There are two versions of the story of how that happened. One of them is the story of how it was a tragic, misunderstood love story, and the founder and his human wife were ripped apart by the horrible distrust for humans and half elves and everybody who's not an elf in Telrune. And it holds that the people who believe that one think that half elves are basically valid citizens of Telrune who should be welcomed back, despite all of the things that some have done to them over the years. The people who believe the other side of the story believe that the woman was a horrible monster who bewitched the founder of my house into having demon babies, which are now half elves. And so they believe that all half elves are an abomination to be purged.
And what side do you fall on?
The first one. That's why I got very awkward about all of that. It's also why we saw so many half elves in Meridia, just about as far as from Telrune as you can get, and not being in the wastes.
I'm glad to see you subscribe to the former story.
Yeah.
I suspect that holds the larger grain of truth.
Said and
Also,
done
just
some
holding something back.
horrible things to half elves. Hence that.
And I'm guessing your father falls on the latter.
Not. The Admiral doesn't choose.
Oh, so he's worse.
It's complicated.
It doesn't seem very complicated.
You know that
It's pretty black and white to me.
whether he likes it or not, one day the Admiral is going to have to choose if Elrune is going to survive.
The Admiral will follow whatever the King tells him to do. That's been his stance for as long as he's been the Admiral.
That sounds kind of, no offense, and I'll say a derogatory slang for someone who's like a wuss or someone who's like can't make up their mind and make decisions
like
on
a
their own.
dwarven term for. Okay.
Yeah.
For a follower, a coward follower, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A wake setter.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go get a drink.
That's
I
probably
second
for the
that.
best.
To the monkey.
I
wait.
pat Dom on the
See.
shoulder and I say, I really am glad you prefer the former story. Takes courage.
Sure. I'm gonna go exist somewhere.
Oh God! Wow! Woo! Okay.
Donald, take a point of piety.
Do us a favor, go and don't exist somewhere, please.
As well as inspiration.
Damn.
Dang, man.
Um,
So, this is the night before your meeting. Donald, I know one of the things you wanted to do was just kind of keep an eye out throughout the city in between all of this stuff. You and I, sir, are going to have a little roll-off, best of 3.
Ooh. Dun dun dun.
First, I need you to roll insight.
Okay. Okay.
Can I guidance these?
No, because you don't know exactly when you'll be making them.
Okay.
All right. Now I need you to make a perception check.
I'm gonna use my inspiration on that.
Okay.
No. God damn.
Ooh.
Can I give him mine?
You can.
Oh my God! Wow.
Oh.
Why we use
Well,
dice.
shit.
So, I will tell you right now, because these are contested rolls that you're not seeing. A third roll is required, so you get to choose insight or perception.
I'm gonna choose insight.
Okay.
I don't want to risk rolling another 2.
Hey!
Okay. On one of the days when you are kind of wandering the city, you are at the Philandros Academy, and you are just kind of keeping an eye on things. And you notice one of the students acting a little shady. And they disappear down like around a corner.
Gimme hey!
And as you come around
Thanks so much for the raid.
the other
How was your
side
stream?
to try and get a look at them, there's like just
Hi,
nobody
hi.
there.
Welcome, Raiders.
Like they either must
Good to
have,
see ya.
they are at a
Hope you had a
magical
wonderful time with
academy,
Kimmy.
so they must have like turned invisible or teleported away or something. But when you come around the corner, they're just gone.
Hey, Recon.
There's another day, a moment where
We're about to have a meeting with the
you overhear a
various leaders of
conversation,
cities in order to join the
between one of the
Republic.
students and another one of the students, where the one student seems to be really confused by the behavior of the other student, and the questions that they're asking.
Interesting.
And
Got a Stalia lore.
as
Nice!
they're walking, you're kind of just following them as they're kind of doing their own walk and talk like you guys sometimes do. And there's a moment where they go into a room, and it takes you a minute before you're able to find a spot where you can hear what's going on. And by the time it's done, you see there's like a flash of light, probably some sort of spell being cast. And you look in, and one of the friends is there, kind of like collecting their thoughts, like they're just coming to, and the other one isn't there anymore. And on this particular night, as you're kind of off by yourself after this very awkward conversation with the rest of your party, you're wandering the fields, or the grounds
Yes,
of the
go get some
academy
caffeine and
again.
chips.
You see that student,
Love you, have a good one.
the one that was acting shady and that disappeared around the corner, and the one that was having the strange conversation with the other student. And you watch them disappear into the section of the school that you know heads toward that special room where the copy of the map is.
Uh-huh.
You are by yourself. If you want to follow this person, you do not have time to do anything else but that.
I will follow them. Yeah, I will follow them. I would like to, on the way as I follow them, cast Summon Beast.
Okay, what are you summoning?
Just Air Beast.
Air Beast. So, describe to me. You can flavor it however you like.
Basically a big seagull.
A big seagull. All right, a big seagull comes flapping in. So you summon. It's verbal, somatic, and material. One action. So you summon as you follow, which means you can't be stealthy while doing that.
Well, I'm immediately going to send it away to do something as I go.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that you can't cast the spell, and because you're not a rogue, so you can't cast the spell and be stealthy in following this individual.
That's called a pelican.
All right.
Sure, it could be a pelican.
Sure.
Why the fuck not?
So what are you doing with the summoned beast?
I'm immediately going to tell it to go, and I will give it directions to find one of the philosophers.
How do you know where they are at the moment?
Do I have any idea from accompanying Artanis here all of these times where they might be around this time of night?
In their private quarters. You don't know where those are, though.
Damn. Is there like a campus police or anything?
Campus police?
Not that you're aware of.
Temple's near here, right? The one where all of the Spartus people are?
It's a few blocks away.
Okay. I will send it off that way to find one of the fellows who is.
Does this thing have the ability to speak?
Nope. It's just gonna stand there and squawk.
Okay.
All right.
Very well. Okay. Do you chase
squawk,
after?
It will squawk and gesture, I guess I should say.
All right. It's trying to do a lassie.
Yeah, basically.
On the wheel again.
Let's go.
It's the best I can do with one action with what I have prepared.
You have animal messenger, I'm pretty sure, in your staff, don't you?
Not in the staff. I don't.
Oh,
think.
not in the staff. Oh, okay.
And I don't prepare it most days.
Speak with animals. Speak with plants. Locate animals and plants. Bark skin. Animal friendship. Nope. Actually, there's not speak with animals in there. So there you go. Or animal messenger in there. All right. Do you chase? But you chase after the figure.
Yep.
All right. you come running down the hallway. As you get into that hallway, that long hallway that goes into that room, you can see that the door is slightly ajar, and there are two what looks like acolytes of the school,
I'll be
or
right back.
students or apprentices, that are slumped on the ground outside the door, like snoring, like full on sleeping.
Shit. Okay, I'm going to run and slap them both awake as I pass. Just both hands out, let the running carry my hands into their faces.
All right. You come running up to them and begin to use your action to wake one of them up. As you go down to do that, and it comes to consciousness, the door swings open, and you do not see the figure that was the student that you saw that originally came down this way. You see this person. As they look at you, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
Oh, goddamn.
11. As far as you're concerned,
You didn't see nothing.
you didn't see shit. And you were patrolling the grounds. This is what your memory is of what happened. And you found these two students sleeping on the job and woke them up and gave them a stern talking to. And that is where we pick up from you standing here right now.
God damn it.
But you've caught them sleeping on the job, and the door is slightly ajar behind them.
Alright. Well, I guess I'd
And
better
they're
go.
both standing there, like, being super apologetic and profusely sorry. And
Stop being apologetic. Go fetch the Philosopher's 3. Or whoever's responsible for this door.
Do we really need to tell them about it? Like, everything's fine, right?
No. You fell asleep, somebody went into this room, and I have an inkling of the sorts of things that are kept in there.
Well, I don't think there's anything missing in there, right? We should be fine.
Do we know that there's nothing missing?
I mean, I haven't looked, but
Go get them.
Okay, they turn both of us, or shouldn't one of us stay? Or
I will stay here.
okay, and they turn and run off.
Great. God fucking damn it, I'm supposed to be good at wisdom saves. Fuck.
Hey, when your
I mean, you
opponent is
were.
lucky.
Alright, well, I guess I'll push the door open and see if there's anything obviously missing in there.
Make a perception check. That copy of the map that usually sits on the table is gone.
Great. Well, I'll start looking around for any signs of somebody breaking in or signs of who might have done this.
Make an investigation check.
I am guidancing myself for this.
Okay.
I definitely know what's happening.
Yes, you can guidance yourself for this one for sure.
16.
16. And looking around, there is no sign of any sort of forced entry whatsoever. It does not look like there was any sort of struggle in here. It does not look like things were searched through. There is a definitive lack of something was stolen from here thing. Like, the way you examine the door, there's no thing on it. You even examine the keyhole. There's no like crazy scratches in there that from like a thieves' tools thing. There is decidedly nothing here that makes it look like a breaking and entering or anything like that. As far as you're aware, no one's been in here that, as far as you can tell, based on the state of the room, outside of the one thing that's missing, it doesn't look like anybody's been in here that shouldn't have been.
Alright, well, I guess I'll wait here for the philosophers to get here.
All right. Several minutes go by before the three of them arrive with the one student, and they say, Master Donald, is it not? I mean, certainly their lecturing can wait till the morning. We don't.
The map's gone.
I'm sorry, what?
The map, it's gone.
I am unfamiliar with the intimacies of elven culture and practical jokes.
This is not a practical joke. And I'll point to where the map normally is.
As they charge into the room, they are in a tizzy and they begin to like search everywhere, like tearing the place apart, trying to find it. What are you doing?
I am, as they do that, I am recounting
They're like
what I've
casting
witnessed.
spells. They're casting spells, all sorts of shit.
I am recounting what I've witnessed and already seen to them.
All right.
And waiting to see if they come to any better conclusions than I did.
No, they are just as shocked as you are. They say this doesn't make any sense. There's no signs of forced entry. They're casting divination magics. There's nothing coming up. Then they recall that the room is warded against both conjuration, specifically conjuration and divination magic, to prevent teleportation and looking into this room.
So couldn't have teleported in or out, which means that he must have opened the door. Do the young ones who guard this place have keys to it? Or are they just on duty outside making sure nobody walks in when they're not supposed to?
The only ones who have keys are the three of us.
So something magical to unlock the door then? So the door was open when I arrived.
Well, I mean, none of us have our keys on us. We're here. They're in like their pajamas, so it's like,
Right.
they're back in our quarters.
Right. Wonderful. Okay. And I guess you'd probably cast something to put the kids to sleep as well. Well, this is a bit of a pickle.
One of us should go and wake the guard. You need to get some rest. You have an important meeting in the morning.
I need to do a little bit more existing
Wow.
away from things and people first.
All right, emo Dommel.
He's gonna listen to his modest
As
mouse.
you stay there to help the investigation, Donald, the guard eventually arrive and kind of like seal off the crime scene, for lack of a better term. The three philosophers go and check their rooms, and Aristotle's key is missing. Some of the other information that you get from being there and staying and helping with the investigation is you give the physical description of the student that you saw and the student that the strange conversation was being had with. The student that was the recipient of the strange conversation.
Wait, 1 sec. Modify memory counts as a charm effect, right?
It does.
I am an
Oh!
elf. I have advantage on charm effects.
Okay, well, you should probably remember this shit.
He didn't know that was a charm effect.
Fuck!
You gotta tell him if it's a charm effect, Bill.
So next time someone casts a charm spell on you, I'm
Aw.
sure you'll
Gotta tell him it's a charm effect, Bill.
I think he knew exactly what was being fucking cast on.
Yeah. God damn it.
I thought he was gonna cast like a sleep or a hold person on me or something, and then dramatically monologue at me.
No, they're smart.
Oh, you bet.
So yeah, but you learn that it would appear that the Aristotle's apprentice, one who had access to his quarters, was it appears that they were enchanted to retrieve the key for this other student that you can't remember. With that, I'm going to hop back over to the rest of you. Is there anything you guys are doing tonight before the morning and the big meeting?
Drinking and eating and sleeping.
Well, I assume, is Artanis with us, or is he also at the academy?
I believe Artanis is with you guys.
All right.
He's been at the academy all day.
Yeah.
Also will say it. Well, I know, we all care for Dommel. Do you believe our association with him is going to hurt our chances of joining? Because if it does, I don't know which leader said it, but we are the closest thing to Karkaria. Without this favor, we are kind of fucked.
So I assume everybody's now told me what happened with.
Yeah, we filled you in on the day.
Yeah.
I didn't. We didn't fill you in on the first one. The first one, there was nothing important happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not inhale.
God. Oh God, no. That's a reference. Oh God.
Oh boy.
That's a good
Well,
reference.
it may be a bit of an extra challenge, but I think there's a few things to notice. One, the Republic has some level of interest in getting our island back into the fold, regardless. And two, Dommel is traveling with 2 dwarves and a tiefling, and he is taking the lead in making contacts with people of other races and things like that. So maybe his name might count a little bit against him, but these are people who have to make decisions not based on personal feelings, but based on what's good for their people in the Republic. And I think the whole package shows that having us and regardless of personal feelings of
Sol!
Dommel's
Hey!
background.
Thank you so much! Holy shit, what's up, baby? Look at that. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you very much, friend.
And background or not, if he's willing to take a side of the story that's, let me tell you, not a popular one to take amongst our people, and the headmaster chooses just to look at his name and judge him by that, then he would be acting in accordance with the bad story, not the good one.
I know Artanis has just given this whole speech, but Elf obviously going to protect Elf. So I was literally, I haven't looked at him yet. I'm just staring at Mel.
Yep, pretty much.
Just like listening to all that, like, it doesn't fucking matter what the real story was. The origin doesn't fucking matter. Because none of the people involved now are those people. They have nothing to do with it. It's how you treat people, that's it.
Well, that's how you should treat people, I agree, but
yeah,
you can only control yourself. People have past hurts for a reason. And those past hurts, sometimes people don't like to forgive easily. And they may say on the surface they're fine, but maybe they're really not. That's why people's words are very important.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. If any of them were victims of dwarven raiding, they'd feel the same way about us as they do about Dommel.
Have you not listened to Donald at all? That's literally what he's been going through here. And that's why I'm saying it shouldn't fucking matter. And if him doing... if what he's done so far isn't enough, then there really isn't anything we can do for this republic, or if he's gonna hurt our chances, maybe we don't give a fuck about them. But I'm at least of the camp that it shouldn't mess up things too much. Not enough to tip the scales. If it did, I wouldn't want to be here either. It's like they said, that's paying a little too close attention to, what do they call it, the bad story, or acting like it. If they're going to assume an entire group are exactly like one person, I don't want to be a part of it either.
Well said.
we should get some rest. Big day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donald, do you return at any point?
He'll return at some point late to trance before the meeting.
I'll say, while everyone else is sleeping, when you get back, Artanis is coming out of his trance, and you see him coming into the place you're staying, Artanis.
Still existing?
Still existing. It's one of the lovely and fun parts of family history that is super great to talk about, especially when it comes up like that.
I know. I know that I come across as a little idealistic and foolish, especially when we first gathered and met with the dwarves and Mel. But these are the same views and things that I've been saying pretty much my whole life back home.
I'm doing okay.
And that's not been easy. You know that old prejudices run deep.
Well, I'm very aware.
So I empathize. But you're doing good. Really good. And for what it's worth, you should be proud of that.
That's what people keep telling me.
Sometimes there's wisdom in groups.
I guess.
Ready for tomorrow?
Yeah. Just need to trance. I'll go over all my notes in the morning.
Get some rest.
It's the plan. Night.
Night. And since he didn't tell me that the map is missing, I won't go running crazy across the city.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Well,
Chef's kiss.
Sorry, if I wasn't distracted, that would probably would have been the first thing I'd said.
I can't hear you, Bill.
You're on mute, Bill.
I love it though. It's great. Yes. All right. So morning comes, and you guys have a hearty breakfast and eat well.
I have 4 hearty breakfasts. Thank you very much.
Indeed, you do.
You
As
get a stick of egg on that fucking toga. I swear to God, I'll make sure it's red. I'll make sure it's red.
Why didn't you make sure it was red in the first place?
Oh, because God forbid you bring your face to the food, then your food to the face.
But red's one of my favorite colors.
As you climb the winding streets up the mountain to the temple, the streets are lined with Spartan soldiers. And as you get to the entrance to the temple, there is a cadre, an honor guard of Spartan soldiers there. As you make your way in, the inside is changed. Around the large pool of water in the center of the temple, there is an enormous circular table ring around it that is marked off. You can see the seams of 5 sections. In each of the 4 sections opposite you, you see the general flanked by his council of generals. You see Minister Leto flanked by her closest advisors. You see Headmaster Cherry Cheeks flanked by his personal guard and advisors. And you see Director Mistain flanked by their guard and personal advisors. And the 5th section, which is facing you, is open with 5 seats.
All right.
They're all standing though. As like we walk up.
They are sitting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Take a seat.
Well, take a seat.
Same.
Minister Leto stands up and says, I would like to call this meeting of the Council of the 5 Republics to order. We have 2 pieces of business to discuss. I would like to ask this delegation from the new city-state of Aspida if they have anything to say on their behalf.
Oh, Bill, when we were going in, can I have cast Detect Magic?
Sure.
And I'll just be looking for any scrying sensors or other hostile or suspicious magics.
Sure.
I look at our lawyer.
All right. I will stand and I will stand at the table.
All the assembled people here regard you.
All right. Well, damn! Now I'm getting stage fright. Okay. Let's fucking go, I guess. Out of character. Donald does not say that in character.
Yeah.
Ooh! I throw popcorn at him.
All right. Donald stands to address the assembled leaders in attention in his dress blues, and before he starts speaking, slides a much thicker book than the one he gave. A much thicker set of books than the ones we gave to Director Mistain out and lays them on the table. Honored leaders of the Republics. I believe I've met all of you at one point or another over the last few days, but I'm Donal Eros, master of trade for the new city-state of Aspida. I come to you asking humbly for admission to your republic. To the republics. Fuck. I believe that our people have a great deal to offer, and our island have a great deal to offer to the group of city-states that you all are. Not to mention that we can once again become the 5 republics in truth, and not merely in name.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, I was gonna keep going.
Keep going then.
I have a list of reasons why they should, because of course I do. I just doesn't. I have to turn it into actual talky talk now.
Like you do. I know it's rough, right?
Talky talk.
Like you do.
My God, we have to go through politics, RP. Ugh.
Ew, politics.
At this point, actually, though, anyway,
Hmm.
Mistress Leto holds up a finger and says, if you don't mind, actually, my apologies before you begin. And she begins to cast a spell. And there's this pulse of silvery divine energy that goes out from her. If you would like to, she has cast a Zone of Truth spell.
Hmm.
If you guys would like to try and resist it, you can, or you can choose to succumb to the effects of the spell.
I will succumb.
I fucking resist. I'm kidding.
Ossel? Artanis?
Sorry, my audio cut out.
Oh,
Leto's casting Zone of Truth.
do you resist?
Fuck. No, I don't.
Ossel?
No, I don't.
All right. You are all under the effects of Zone of Truth. She looks at as you do this, you look at all the chairs that the representatives are sitting in, and the small red gem that sits at the head of the back, which sits above everyone's head, turns from red to green.
A neat little thank you, Minister Leto. I appreciate it.
Yes. Please continue.
Do I see any other magics that do anything? Scry on us, prevent scrying on us, anything like that?
There does not appear to be any like scrying orbs around or anything. I think you would need to see invisibility for that anyway. Then detect magic. Detect magic detects magic on people and items, I believe, not just floating orbs of arcane sensors. But not really. No, there's not a ton of magic stuff in here. Outside of the like Galadriel's mirror type device that you're familiar with and you've seen already.
Okay.
Alrighty. Donal will turn a little bit towards, but not fully, towards the Spartus section of the table.
Mm-hmm.
And begin begin speaking again. Militarily, our island occupies a strategic place between the Empire and the Republics. Before, when the storm still consumed the island, it was enough to dissuade any Imperial attempts to hold the island and to ensure that they wouldn't use it as a base for raiding Republic shipping or other aggressive actions against the Republic. Now the storm has dissipated. Militarily speaking, protecting the island of Aspida allows for clear passage of Republic ships along the western. Is there a name for that coast that's like on the eastern side of the island? Like between, if I'm remembering the map right, between Spartus and Ralos, like over here.
I mean, I hadn't come up with one, but
along the western half of the Republic allows us to protect traffic from Calcarian and from any other meddling that may come through via combined efforts of Aspida, with sailors trained by the greatest sailors of both Eld and Dwarven kind, as well as the existing efforts of Spartus, we can continue to make Republic shipping as safe as it possibly can be. It also prevents the admission of Aspida into the Republic also prevents the Empire from swallowing it and using it as a base to threaten the Republics further. Economically speaking.
As you finish with the speech towards the Spartus, he holds a hand up and says, strong words, but you speak of many things that you do not yet possess.
That is true. Right now, we are a nation of 2,500 people. The second item on the agenda may change that, but for the time being, yes. I speak in hypotheticals of what may happen if our nation is to be admitted into the grand fellowship that is the Republics.
Kind of nods, considering. And out of character, anyone can feel free to. This is like an open discussion, not necessarily a presentation.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, by all means, interrupt me if you have something to add here. I think it's the weakest part of the presentation, or of of the notes I have.
Oslo stand. I just scratch Ravina behind the ears, and she sits. As you all know, our nation is young and without guidance, minus by our hands and one very strong influence as I look to Minister Leto. But in a short year, nay, 3 seasons, we have created something from nothing. Extinguished evils, killed terrible monsters, and uprooted some terrible plants. I just kind of give a knowing look to Cherry Cheeks, snipping the vine. This perchance group of people that has been assembled around me is extraordinary. And I feel like Aspida will do that as well. That if a chance is given, much like it was once before for us, and I know the gods will smile upon us, and we can do great things. We've done great things together. I think we can do greater things, united, as the Republics.
Director Mustaine pipes up and says, from what I understand, when you last visited Meridia, the dealings you had there left an individual's estate in flames.
Am I being addressed directly, or is that to us?
It's a general addressing to all of you. They continue, and say, whatever ills were learned of the Duke after his passing are irrelevant to the fact that his personhood and possessions were assaulted by people seeking to join a group of individuals that exist by laws. They're finished. If any of you would like to retort.
We at least knew ahead of time a little bit about him, and like he was opposed to helping.
Yeah,
Like
he had
Alrawam
spoken
and stuff.
publicly on it.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole him trading with the Empire wasn't uncovered until after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Well after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look to Ossel for a moment and see if she wants to take this.
I think we can double team it.
All right, you start.
While our admirations and technique was quite unorthodox, we acted out of. Oh, we're under Zone of Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
A desire to get things done. From what we were told, it was not our intent to cause any harm. And we ended up being correct in our assumption. We fell face first, luckily, into someone dealing in bad dealings. We've all made mistakes. I sure have made plenty of mine. It's one I wish never to repeat. And to the people of Meridia, I thoroughly apologize personally.
At this point, Director Cherry or Headmaster Cherry Cheeks pipes in and says, "Well, from what I understand, since the estate was burned to the ground, the land was gifted to the people who worked it previously, and the orchards have flourished. So, not that that justifies anything, but." And he just kind of grins a little. Is there anything anybody else would like to say?
On this or in
general?
I mean, I got more of the list to go through if nobody else has anything they want to say.
I mean, most of that stuff was submitted in writing previously.
Yeah,
this is more for this is more for like that last little, cherry on top if you want to say something inspirational.
We are a young nation, but we are a nation comprised of those with goodwill from across many areas of this world. We are small. We have resources that could be beneficial to all. And an investment in us could pay dividends for all in the future. But more than anything, this could be a symbol of the value of all working together peacefully for the greater good. Or it could be a rejection for local interests.
The general pipes up and says, "It is true, you have accomplished much in a short amount of time. But it is also true that you said you come from many far off places with understandable allegiances to your homelands and peoples. Do any of you intend to use this new access and authority to benefit your nations of origin that might conflict with the interests of the republics?
No. I gave my word that I would protect the people on that island to the best of my ability and keep them safe, keep them happy and healthy.
Hey,
They
Bill.
are my
sorry.
concern.
Hey, Bill, out of character from when you gave us the information about the dwarves,
Mm-hmm.
would you say that Thorin is very against them from completely benefiting or benefiting at all?
The general is specifically asking about your intentions, not whatever intentions you may know that your leaders might have.
Got it.
Hmm.
No, I do not have the intentions of that. It, this this island is meant to be a safe haven, and it's meant to be a beacon of hope.
We
Mel-
named it as. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
And
I
Mel,
insist.
if anything, Mel would slowly stand up and, like, in response, to goes, with all due respect, right now, as is, my nation of origin no longer exists in its form. The people I once protected are now within the realm of your cities. And we wish to add another place for them to become a new home. And sit back down.
General will turn and look at Ossel and Artanis.
I love my homeland. Do I wish to help it succeed? Absolutely. But my first and fervent belief has always been that to help my people in the long run of Telrune is to find a way for this world, the peoples of this world, to be and become two trustworthy allies for all. Because if we all stand together, then none of us fall. And so, do I wish to help my people? Yes. Do I want or believe that doing so at the expense of the people at Aspida or the peoples of the Republic would be a good thing or in that interest? Absolutely not.
I plan on helping my homeland. They need help. But not at a cost that would threaten the republics.
Director Headmaster Cherry Cheeks speaks up and says, "So I guess to put it bluntly, if the interests of the republics and the interests of your homeland are at odds, who are you going to choose?"
If the interests of the Republic continue to be that of unity and teamwork, regardless of race, then even if it's in the short term disinterest of my people, I believe supporting the Republic would be in the long term interest of my people, and so I would support the Republic.
He looks at the two dwarves and the other elf. He doesn't seem to sense much of a conflict of interest for you, Mel. So
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
I give my word to keep those people safe. If they're part of the Republic, then I will work with the Republic. I may not enjoy it, working against my homeland, but duty isn't something to be enjoyed. It's to be done. And done well.
I believe what Domo believes. Except I love my duty.
they turn and look at you, Thorn.
I will be truthful in saying one of my main missions is to bring glory back to my father's name. But if that goes against what I stand for, which is in line with what these other individuals stand with, then I can't stand with my home nation. So no, I would not stand with my home nation if it goes against what we're building here.
The four city leaders kind of all share glances. And Minister Leto stands up and says, "I believe we've heard everything we need to." And she will hold her hand out in the Roman Colosseum style with her thumb to the side and
Fuck,
say,
Mel, come on.
and say, to the matter of asking the burgeoning nation of Aspida to join the republics, I say yes. And she does a thumbs up. We pan over to the general who stands and holds out his hand with his thumb sideways and says, "With as much personal admiration as I have for each of you, it makes my vote that much more difficult. Unfortunately, your lack of military forces, I believe, would make you more of a drain on our alliance and a I'm sorry, but he turns his thumb downwards. It pans over to Director Mustaine, who looks you over and says, and doesn't say anything at all, actually, and just stands and does a thumbs down.
Sounds about right.
With that, it turns over to Headmaster Cherry Cheeks, who stands and says, I know what the director was going to say. That we are an alliance of laws, and that your chaos is not something that can work within that system. The director looks a bit perturbed that her tea was, or their tea was spilled without their consent. But Cherry Cheeks looks at them and kind of has this like trickstery smile of like, yeah, I just did that. And then turns and looks back at the rest of you and says, but I like your gumption. And he holds his hand out and does a thumbs up. Minister Leto says, well, we are at an impasse, it would appear. Headmaster Cherry Cheek says, allow me to offer an amendment. I think that our compatriots in front of us show promise. And he's staring directly at you, Donald, while he says this. I think we should give them a provisional allowance in. For a year from today, we can reconvene, and if they've made enough gains to prove themselves a boon to the Alliance, we retake the vote. He turns and looks at the rest of the leaders and says, do I have a second? And the general immediately stands and says, hear, hear. Minister Leto stands and says, 3 makes an agreement. The 4 of them turn to you, and the director from Narafos says, well, do you accept these abridged terms? You may discuss amongst yourselves.
I turn to everybody else and just nod.
I'm gonna give a nod.
Same.
I kind of shrug my shoulders and just nod.
Very well. 1 year from today, General Ergoroth will arrive on Aspida to inspect your military capabilities, and if he is appeased, we shall hold the ceremony to invite you into the Alliance.
Thank you. Very, very much.
So, out of character, I don't think it would do us any good to tell them that, yeah, by the way, the Empire kind of already at our door.
It's
That's a
not
bad
something-
idea.
Well,
Not something we need to bring up right now.
Yeah,
not
that's what
at
I
this
figured.
very moment. We will, however, have to add a docket to today's meeting as the Philosophers 3 walk in. And that is where we will pick things up next week.
Well, shit.
Alrighty.
Provisional members.
We'll take it.
Well. Hot damn.
Man.
Political RP.
Political
Yeah.
This is coming from somebody who has a fucking bachelor's in political science. Ugh.
Yeah, Bill, I let go of all that when Knox became, what he became.
Yeah. Hey, it totally makes sense for Thorin to be sitting over there like daydreaming.
Yep.
No.
Same as John.
I
No.
don't like it. I don't like it. I don't
Yeah.
like
Yeah, nah.
Like what?
Thorin's basically just daydreaming. What am I gonna make in the forge when I get home?
What don't you like, Ossel?
it. Oh, if we get assaulted and fucked up, and then just start losing some shit. We have a bad winter, bad crop, just fucked in a year.
We're in the Mediterranean. How bad of a winter are we gonna have?
Bad period, storms, whatever the fuck.
Well, you better be
You
praying to
know a
Hestia a lot.
The winters here are like the summers in Ethmond, Ossel.
I'm going back, and I ain't coming back here.
Ooh. So we will pick things up
Damn.
from here next week. As the Philosophers 3 walk into the door, you can only assume Donald to discuss what happened last night.
Hmm.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Oh no,
Right.
Dennis doesn't know. Sorry.
He does know, but he doesn't know.
Still didn't tell Artanis.
Artanis-
Still haven't told
Nope.
Dennis is
Artanis.
gonna learn about it right now. It's gonna be fucking amazing. Yeah.
Oh God.
But that's where we'll pick things up next week.
Okay. Yay. We made it, chat. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Our little Council of Elrond session.
Elrond Hubbard. No, wait.
My axe, and my sword.
You have my axe and my axe.
My axe.
My axe.
Also my axe.
Or
Oh no. Oh.
It's like that good meme. It's like I am here. I'm out on a quest to avenge my brother's death. It's like you have my axe and you have my bow and you have your brother. It's like the necromancer.
Oh God. Yeah, that's fun. I'm just gonna release y'all into the wild. Go find your favorite streamer, say hi, give them some love. We'll be
Yes.
back next week. I'll be back Friday, I believe, for some Misty Shore. So until then, you all stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye.
I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder, and my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler